Why are we so obsessed with Russia?
That's a really good question.
Do you know, since I was a little boy, Russia's always been there. We were
That's right.
going through drills when I was a kid, hiding under our desk at school.
That's another
for
one,
Russia.
That's another one of those things that actually goes back to the 19th century. Beginning with the Crimean War, Russia was the enemy. The Ottoman Empire was crumbling, falling apart. Russia wanted to take over the Middle East. England wanted to take over the Middle East. France wanted to take over the Middle East. The United States wanted to take over the Middle East. China wanted to take over the Middle East. So it was deciding who got the spoils. Russia had to be taken out. England played nice with Russia during the First World War because it was a way to take out their combined enemy, the Ottoman Empire. And we know by 1918, 1919, Ottoman Empire gone. So now who gets to take over those countries? The Middle East. Oil was a major, there was the prize because beginning in about the 1870s, they'd figured out we can make gasoline and kerosene out of this stuff. And combustion engines were created by Daimler in Germany. And by the end of the 19th century, everybody wanted combustion engines. And you had to have something to run them. Kerosene wasn't very efficient, so gasoline was the way to go. And I think that that's one of the reasons that Russia has been the bugaboo, if you want to call it that. It's been the big enemy for the last over a century now. A century and a half.
And on another level, the decorated Marine Corps General Smedley Butler in 1920s wrote a book called War is a Racket.
Yeah.
And I think a big part of it is that there are many in the military-industrial complex, what President Eisenhower called the military-industrial complex, who make money by keeping us at war with somebody. Mm-hmm. So Russia, even though we've got a common enemy in the Islamic State, because Russia has some real problems with radical, violent Islam inside its borders, we could be working with Russia to eliminate that threat, but instead the military-industrial complex finds more benefit to itself, and that's what they're thinking about as themselves, by keeping Russia as the bugaboo, the boogeyman, as an enemy of the United States, even though we could be working together to eliminate an authentic threat. But this gets to what I said before about the Apostle Paul, because the enemy, the true enemy, are the principalities and powers, those entities in the spirit realm that we can't see with the natural eye.
And they don't get along.
And they don't necessarily get along either. We see in the Bible, in the book of Daniel, that you had the prince of Persia and the prince of Greece going to war with one another. So they are fighting with one another. They rebelled against their creator. Why wouldn't they fight with one another to see who could control the Mount of Assembly? So that may be part of it as well. And if they can keep that going, that fight, that struggle, by taking their human accomplices, useful idiots, to keep wars stirred up and, hey, maybe generate a little blood sacrifice in the meanwhile, hey, it's all good for them.
Look at the blood sacrifices that took place during the First and Second World Wars.
That's right.
Horrible.
The Civil War,
Horrible.
the American Civil War.
Yes, exactly.
Right. And what's going on in the Middle East now, where blood has been shed since the days of Nimrod. We are talking 6,000 years they have not had peace in the Middle East. President Trump, God love him for trying, but he's not going to solve it.
Iran is going to do everything in its power to wipe America off the face of the map, and they say they're going to do that to Israel. But Israel says, no, you're not, because they plan to be the first one, if they have to fight them back. Mm-hmm. So we're in warfare. So the wars and rumors of wars, they've all happened. They're happening now.
They're happening now.
So that part of the last day, just about everything in Matthew 24 and the Revelation is all clicking off one after another. We're there. This is the now time.
Yeah.